Hello, Facebook Live. I hope you're coming on today. I hope you have some guests. You're getting very casual, Diana, today. It's workout day, so I'm in my Lulu's Today episode. What I'm going to cover today is, again, losing track, packing for vacations and returning from vacations, which is episode 20 and 21. And I'm going to put them together on Facebook Live because I had so many Facebook Lives last week. I hope you can see this. I know it's kind of bright. So I'm going to turn on the lights. Let's turn down the reflection. Okay, that might be better. Isn't that funny? We think we need more light, but we don't. It's making it really shiny. All right, so what I want to share with you today is giving you an opportunity to really think about vacations differently. And I'm not sure why this is so shiny. I'm blinking out. All right, we're going to go with it. Is really to explain why vacations can derail our health efforts, but also really what, we really miss vacations, or we really reserve vacations for our yummy, great activities and memories. And I want to share a way that in addition to bringing home souvenirs, that you can be bringing home really some deep learning about what you're yearning and a way to plug that in your real life. So the first is what to take on vacation. Let's see if you can see this. Okay. So first is really an intention. And I think that this is, if you really want to fully enjoy your vacation, is going to take really being present while you're there and giving yourself an opportunity to, my thing would be to turn off work fully and really let your brain get a rest, to get, really take with you, do you want to totally derail and drink and eat and not work out and not do anything, really? Most of us really don't want to, but we kind of made this definition around vacations that they are the time that we just do everything opposite of, it's all the bad behavior. Like what stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but yet we come back, like when you think about the extreme, like a Vegas trip, we're sunburned, we're dehydrated, we are burned out, totally feeling awful for 3 days to recover from how we've behaved. Is that really a great vacation? And hi, Diana, thank you for being here. And so it's really deciding how you want to spend that time and how you really want to feel. And to be more present, it's taking with you any of the tools, especially when I talk to my clients before they go on a vacation, it's like, what are the tools that really help them narrow down or get grounded around food? So for me, I don't have as much choice on perfect, fuel or my fuel when I vacation. And so that might be a time that I really focus on the hunger scale. So I really focus on my appetite. I really give myself permission to try some new foods and eat some things that are not fuel, but are really good or known in the area, but I really honor my satiety. So when I am nearly whisperly full, I sit back and just relax around it, instead of, I used to be game on the overeater during vacation because I thought that's what defined vacation. And it's just not true. It actually makes us miserable coming back with a lot of weight gain. So it's taking off work and kind of turning off your brain to that and really making a decision and a boundary around it and bringing your wellness tools with you. So those are ways that, just to be really present with our families, or even when it's difficult, family reunions and things like that, being really present and calm and not wishing you were somewhere else will help you know how to deal with Aunt Martha that's driving you crazy, literally. So it's taking with you what you know works. That's what I talked about in the podcast. Take with you what you know works for you. And it might be planning a workout. Even if you got a couple in, think about the ideal week-long vacation. Even if you got a couple in that really make, check out the hotel gym or get really intentional workouts on the beach or check out a local studio, even if you did that minimum, you're not going to come back all like losing some of your strength and your aerobic ability where it sucks when you get back. It also will help your energy while you're gone. And next, so plan a workout and take food with you if you're in a place that you need to do that. One thing I do, I have this habit of planning, making sure how close I am to a grocery store that I like and stopping there before I even get to where I'm either renting a house or whether this is with family or not. And I will make sure I have the basics for breakfast and lunch and really basic food. So even those things for snacks, fresh vegetables, things on hand, so that if the person I'm staying with or even what's being served at broad meals, like say with meetings, I know I've got my core, and that really sets me up for success. If I go to a hotel breakfast, it's usually very starchy, and that makes me hungry an hour later. And so I know to make sure that I bring either check out if there's eggs or make sure I take some food with me. So pack appropriately, take what works for you. That's what we talked about in the podcast. And really know that you will derail if you intend on derailing. If your intentions are to totally go off the grid and totally, your vacation equals overeating, over drinking, you would create the derail. But if you set a different intention, like I want to have better energy during this vacation, I don't want to be hungover every morning, I'm not going to be perfect. I know on that first night, I usually have 3 margaritas. This is no judgment zone here, right? This is vacation. But if your intention is to feel good, is not to gain back weight, if you're on a journey to lose weight, or not to just have to deal with that lack of energy, plan some workouts, plan the things that are the core things that ground you. And for me, that is really knowing what workout studios are near me. And my workouts will always look different while I'm away, but I actually love visiting studios while I'm on the road. I really love seeing how other people set things up. I may learn something new with a different yoga instructor or a fitness instructor. So check them out. And with all the national chains that are opening up, you can know what to expect. And I think that that's really important as well. Like I know I can hit Flywheel or Cycle Bar or Soul Cycle, those kind of things. Orange Theory, if I'm out of town, it's really easy. You know what you're walking into, like McDonald's, right? So plan a workout, plan to take food with you, or make sure you get a refrigerator in your room and just keep that baseline of what knows works for you. And no judgment. Like don't be harsh with yourself on vacation and how you behave. That will only create more overeating. Really, and this is lean in to your tools that work for you. For me, it's the hunger scale. I naturally will eat more fuel. That is more, it's so into like organic part of me. But I will lean in heavily on the hunger scale because I'll get all jazzy and excited around meals because I'm out of town and, oh my gosh, we're going to this restaurant. And so I have to dial in and calm down a little bit and really follow my hunger scale. So let's see how we're doing time. Yeah, so what do you bring home? So to not derail, you take what works for you. That's the basic intention. Turning off work, really making that a vacation where you let your brain really let loose. It's not that you won't think about work at all, but if you don't fuss about it and indulge in worrying about work, you can really let your brain refresh. And I'm reading a couple of books right now that are digging into the details of that. And I'll probably have some podcasts coming up around rest, I think in a couple. All right, so what do we bring home? We think it's souvenirs, right? A sunburn. What do we bring home from vacation? All right, so I deal with a lot of corporate folk in my practice and business owners. And a lot of times what we start believing when we go on a really great vacation is that we're going to have to leave our jobs to live like this. And we're going to have to live in a totally, like I'm going to have to leave my job if I'm going to ever want to hike like that again or be that healthy, or like, you go to Italy and you're like, you're figuring out how to become an expat like really quickly because it's so relaxing. Well, that's great information. Like whatever you come home, like you're going to really miss. What are you going to really miss from your vacation? I don't care what kind it is. It could be when you go on a family vacation, missing, like really loving I'm using like Aunt Martha, like I have an Aunt Martha. I don't. But if you like really love the home cooking and that feel, well, what that might be signaling to you is that you need to give yourself some time and permission to do some home cooking. You see, like let the open experience of a vacation teach you what your body is really yearning for. And so that could be, it could be bringing home home cooking. Okay, everybody in the world is going to Italy right now, so we're learning a lot about hospitality if we do that type of trip. They slow down when they eat, they gather friends, it's very open, it's wonderful wine, everything's beautifully prepared. But it might be really up-leveling our food experiences at home. And I think if you're like me and you have struggled with weight during your life, you will think that being very basic, and there's not a problem being basic with food. And most of my food is pretty boring, but I find that I get this craving for like more tasty food, more creative food after having either a dining experience or a vacation. And you can bring this home in little pieces. Do a new recipe a week. If you're really going to miss the colorful food, the fresh food, and you think that it's not available to you when you get home, or you've dieted a lot, like I was beginning to share, and now it has to be constrained. No. What you really missed on, like you're going to miss the food, you need to bring back parts of this to your world now. And the reason I say that is the people that do the best losing weight for good up-level their dining experiences so that they're not overeating to get more satisfaction. They've created such a beautiful plate. They eat in a good environment. They're slowing down and savoring. The reason we love dining out in a place like Italy or in a great restaurant, or that has, a unique experience like French food, and, they're all different, that we loved the grace and the beauty and the hospitality. And when we bring this experience, even if we're eating by ourselves, if we bring that back to our dining experiences at home, you will not overeat. You will start slowing down. You will start adding more color to your meals. You will start being present with yourself at the meals. One of the biggest breaks that we can get is really taking a lunchtime break and totally enjoying it. Like sitting in and totally enjoying it. And that 15 minutes could be the mental break that you need from the morning of work, so that the afternoon of work is just as engaging as your morning hours are. Because a lot of times we'll peter out with activity in the afternoon. But what are you yearning when you get home? Like, what do you think? Like, I've had clients, I don't even know what to write here, but I've had clients that have come back from vacations that have like, well, I was hiking 9 miles a day and I just loved it. Well, that might not be realistic if you're an attorney or have a long working hours, but you have learned that you love to walk and you love more challenging distances. So make sure that you bring back that experience by planning it in your calendar going forward. Remember that at least once a month that you want to be doing a long hike. So it's really allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to do some of the things that you learned you love on vacation and bring them home. One way I practice this, and I talked about this in my podcast, is I have a creative outlet, and two of them are really clear for me, three actually. Designing flower arrangements in a very, very simple way. Grocery store flowers, cut them up, I gather everything I love, put them in wet foam and go. And they always are more beautiful than I ever think they're going to be, and they're so fun. And so that's a really, really fun experience for me. That's a really huge creative outlet. So every time somebody's ill or I'm entertaining or there's a special event, I really try to think ahead and get an opportunity. That's just something I love to contribute, and I now do it for myself. So creative outlets are also a way, I think that's why vacations are so fun, that we're just giving our head space, like all this room. And then this is an opportunity where we can give ourselves that creative outlet, that gorgeous, yummy vacation feeling, when we have a creative outlet. So craft projects are another thing for me. I love going to this place called Project Supply in Atlanta, and there's a lot of them popping up where you buy the project, whether it's pottery or wood, and they help you finish it, and you make something for someone else or yourself or your home. But that outlet, like, I know I love painting and that, staining wood. I love how free that makes me feel. So that's another way we bring home like what we had on vacation, or that open feeling, we bring that back. I do these things typically on a day called Fun Friday. I don't plan intentionally to work on Fridays unless I'm taking time off before or after that week. And it might be a productive day for me where I do like videos, or I do something that needs that space. But most times this is a time I really take time to go out to lunch with someone, and that's a breath of fresh air. Like, are you doing that? Are you seeing your friends during your intense work weeks? Are you creating and carving those breaks in? Stop thinking you have to leave your job. Bring in some of those things that you love on vacation, and some of being kind of present with yourself that you really are craving. And that is what I do on Fun Fridays. So I pay attention when I look at that blank screen and I'm like, what do I want to do with that today? And it may cook ahead. I may cook meals for my weekend. I might go do the flower thing. I might do a craft project, and I might do a big hike. Doing something that I don't normally do during the week. So anybody here that's on, do you have any questions about either the disruption, which was podcast 20, was how to prepare for vacation so that your wellness habits are not derailed. And then 21 is, what do you bring back? You bring back, like, what did you learn on vacation that you really loved? And for so many of us, it's things that we withhold from ourselves when we're working hard. And my bottom line is, do not stop withholding great experiences. Rest. Like, if you learned that you really did need 7 hours of sleep, then figure it out. Like, I love getting up at 6, but I'm learning I'm going to have to really think about going to bed right at 10. Like, I have to get upstairs and start winding down. That's one thing I learned on vacations. I let a rhythm of what kind of sleep do I really need, and let it be natural. And from that, I can bring that back home. So is it rest, mind vacations? Let's call them mini mind vacations, right? And all of this will make us feel like we can recharge and get back to our work right away. All right, I hope you're enjoying the podcast. I will be posting this in my videos section, as you know, but if you listen and have any questions, I'll be prompted, and I'll be glad to answer those for you. So I hope you all have great summer vacations, and hope this helps.